Hi, in this video we're going to introduce the zone logic and how to make your agent interactive with the zone. Let's first open our example file, the sample 30, spot logic 1. And you can see that this is a simple thing we created before, and there's a origin agent called man, and there are some of the logic. The default action is stand, and the animation trigger is action trigger walk. And there are 3 nodes which can make your agents avoid each other. You can see that it's used the sphere range detection and the rotate and some of the playback. So let's create our zone firstly. Let's create the polygon plan on the plan here. This can be a zone, and when you select it and click this and create a zone, and you can see that this object has been marked as a zone object. And if you just check the hypergraph, you can see that the shape node of this is connected with the zone shape. And when you select it and click this guy, you can see that the zone shape has been selected for you, and you can track the ID just like the previously indexing techniques. And also there's auto repel distance. We're going to introduce that later. Let's just play our agents and play back the simulation. The first logic we are going to introduce is zone area. Let's create a logic in zone. Okay, and here we're going to enable this input sentence zone here. In area of zone. So if this activates, let's just change our color. Here, color. Set my color. You can see that this guy has color sphere. The color index is 0. So let's change that to another one. For example, 2. Well, let's play back our simulation again, and you can see that once the agent walks inside of the zone, it will change to the color of 2. So this is pretty simple. This is a zone detection and the area, the range detection. And then we are going to introduce how to make your agent avoid this zone. So the agent outside of this zone can fail and detect the left and the right, the relationship with the zone. So let's do that. So this is similar like the spot. Let's create two symmetrical logic here. The first one is zone left. We needed to avoid them, so we needed to rotate to right. Okay, and here let's enable that. The zone is on left. At this time, let's rotate to right at speed 150, and we needed to build in the symmetrical one. Of course you can select this and Control D and just rename it zone right, rotate to left, hit enter, and then switch that a little bit for making sure it's update. And let's just change the content, right? Initial the characters left, and let's play back our simulation and see what will happen. You can see that our agent will try to avoid this zone. The playback interactively. This is similar like the spot logic. But the zone is kind of the area. The spot is a point in the 3D space. This is in the area. And we can, of course, sculpt the shape of this kind of the geometry for making our agent can do the more behavior than just a spot. For example, we can create several of the polygon mesh and simulate several the buildings here, so our agents can avoid it. And let's just continue this and then add a zone distance here. this is a zone to me 2D distance less than 50. So that is means only when the agent is near the zone and the distance is less than 50, it will try to avoid it. So let's just add this. So let's run the simulation again. You can see that some of the agent will walk towards this zone, and when they're near it, they will try to avoid it. And of course, we can add some of the fuzzy logic here for making everything smoother, more smooth. And here. So let's do that again. And of course, we need to check the logic in the priority, because the avoid each other has the higher priority than the zone. So we need to create two blanks here, P1 priority 1 and P2 for priority 2, and parent this guy and these guys to the P1, and parent these two guys to the P2, and parent P2 the under P1, so that the priority 1 should be higher the priority than priority 2. So let's run a simulation. You can see that avoid each other should be the more accurate, but some of agents to working inside of that. We need to avoid this happen. At this time we can just select this zone and click this and enable some of the auto repel distance. So we are going to make that free. If that is zero, there's no any of the repel distance. If that is the, for example, 5, it will repel the agent the outside of this zone with distance 5. So let's play back our simulation. You can see that the agent cannot walk into that forever. It will automatically push outside from this zone if this is too near this zone. And also you can create several different zones here for making your agent interactive with each one of them. So let's duplicate and rotate it, or let's create a new one. Create a cylinder here. Let's create this guy and hit F8 and switch to the face and delete the extra ones. Just leave this guy and leave it right here and mark this zone. Let's duplicate and mark this guy. Okay, let's play back our simulation again. You can see that our agent can walk and try to avoid each one of the zone in your area. And we can just arrange it like this. And create the road and make our agent interactive with the road and the zone together. Let's create it. Create a NURBS curve. CV curve tool. Okay. And let's just move up right a little bit and create the road from it. And here, select that. And make this wider, more values, and the flow lane, flow edge. Oh, I'm sorry. Flow orientation is a point to inside. Just to move this right a little bit here. And follow the road left. is right here. I'm on road and it's pointing to my left. I need to rotate it to the left. And let's build a symmetrical one. Follow road right. And here, let's just rotate it to the right. Let's add some of the fuzzy logic here, and 20 and 20 for making the result more smooth, left and right. Okay, everything seems correct. And let's play back our simulation. You can see that your agent will try to walk and avoid the zone and follow the route, but we needed to rearrange the priority. We needed to create the P3 because the follow route should be the final priority. So let's parent into that. The first one is avoid each other, and the second one is the avoid zone, and the third is to follow the route. You can see that your agent will try to avoid the zone and follow the route. And we also can combine three geometry together for making a single room, which can make the result more accurate. Let's just rearrange this like this. And select all of them and combine them together. We need to go to the polygon and the mesh here, combine. And you can see that the new zone has been created, and let's just delete the history of that, delete by type the history, and mark this a zone. And of course we needed to add some of the repel distance, for example 5, and run the simulation again. You can see that at this time the result should be more accurate. Let's make the road wider. And also we can make the zone logic small value here. Let's run the simulation again. And also you can notice that the cube shape is not very good one. So if possible, you can create a sphere or a circle shape, so that it will be the more accurate. And if you open our example 31 zone 2, you can see that this result should be the more accurate because we combine all of the zone shape together and reshape that all of these zones into something rounded, the edge, instead of that the very sharp edge like the cube. So let's run the simulation. The sphere or the rounded edge is the better than the cubic and the rectangle, the sphere. So you can see that the result is the more accurate. Okay, this is an introduction for the zone logic. Thank you for watching. See you next time.